Yep. Hello, it's Melanie from Team Harcourts Huon Valley, and I'm here today to take you on a little walking tour of 18 Fritton Drive here in Dover. I'm standing upstairs of, this house is a 2-storey house, and upstairs is the main dwelling, and downstairs we have a separate unit. So I'm upstairs on the front deck. This leads to inside. We'll show you what's on offer here at the deck because this is pretty spectacular. It looks out to the view, which Karl will just show you with a little pan around. You're looking down there towards Kent Beach, over towards the left, and then back towards the jetty and round the corner towards the town. You can also see Adamson's Peak over in the distance, just there. That will have snow on it in the winter. So you've got a really fantastic mix here where you can be looking at the beach and also a snow-capped mountain, which is pretty specky. And as you can see, this deck is really large. Karl's just going to go to the far end and I'm at this end. And, you know, there's a number of outdoor settings here. Lots of space. It's really wide, so it's really excellent for entertaining. And it's a bit of a sunny day today, so we've got the awnings out too. So these are fully retractable and they retract all the way back. So if it's a bit of a cooler day, maybe midwinter, and you want to be sitting out in the sun, you can have these fully retracted and just be enjoying the sun rather than the shade. But on a lovely hot day like today, when it's the middle of summer, you can sit out here in the shade and enjoy that beautiful view. Now this home is a really lovely modern style, and you can see this is glass balustrading here, so it doesn't interrupt the view out. And this is a timber deck that we're on, stained timber. So coming inside now to the open plan kitchen, living, dining. This is these are stack sliding doors, so you can open them up. That's about the width they open to, which makes for a good flow in and out from the kitchen and dining out there. So if you're entertaining, this is a good, good amount of space to come in and out. But as we come back in here, this is, as I said, this is the main house. So the main house is upstairs to take the best of the views. At one end you've got the kitchen, and then I guess dining in the middle and living at the other end. But you could configure your furniture however you wanted to in here. Also, I guess important to note, this owner has a pretty traditional style in furnishings and furniture, but the house lends itself just as well to really modern, sleek style. Timber floors, and this is real timber, so Tas oak timber throughout this section. And the kitchen is huge, as you can see, lots of bench space. Island bench in the middle with lots of cupboards and a dishwasher. Your sink is in here as well. Now, I'm not sure if you can see from here or not, Karl, but when you're standing at the sink, you've got the nice view of the water. And when the awnings are up on the deck, when they're not out, you can also see the mountain from standing at the sink. You have to trust me. Oh no, there you go. Karl's got it in. So this island bench is huge and allows plenty of prep space, as well as over this side. But then you've got more around here. And over this side, you've got a really great breakfast bar, which is a fantastic spot to sit. And as I said, of course, the views are pretty important at this house. So you can sit here in the morning with your cup of coffee, or I guess with a wine later in the evening. If somebody's cooking over there, you can be sitting here and enjoying the view, which is pretty nice. So much storage here. These bench tops are the composite stone, so the modern type of stone. So it has an integrated drainage for the sink built in there. Lots of storage, including a corner pantry. So good amount of storage in the corner pantry. And then multiple cupboards, drawers, overheads in various places. So wall oven. Large fridge, That's a side-by-side fridge freezer, that one. The cooktop is separate, ceramic cooktop with a range hood over, and then lots of overhead cupboards there as well. So there wouldn't be very many people who would find this kitchen not big enough. It's pretty substantial. So then, as I said, this owner has this section set up as the dining. That's probably the most logical, but you could make your furniture in various configurations here. And then leading down to the living at this end of the house. The windows down here nearly go to the floor, so it really takes in that view beautifully. All the windows here are double glazed, so that's important for a bit more year-round comfort and better energy consumption. Speaking of energy consumption, the heating for the upstairs is either a wood heater. This wood heater was put in reasonably recently, or a heat pump. So you've got both options here. And of course the heat pump could be used for air conditioning in summer. So this is the living, indoor living for upstairs. And upstairs has 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So the first of the bedrooms, and this would be the master bedroom, because it's the largest, this is directly off the living. So this is a queen size bed, and as you can see there's a lot of space here. This is at the back of the house, so it's a bit more private, I guess. And this would be the master bedroom because it has an ensuite and a walk-in robe. I might just open the door to the walk-in robe for you, so you can have a look in there as well. So a good amount of storage in there. This house, of course, lends itself beautifully to being a permanent home. This is, of course, really beautiful high-end living up here. But if you wanted to have more of a holiday house and have 2 families sharing, then I don't know who gets to live in the nice place upstairs, but it lends itself really nicely to that too. So there's a few options here. You might not need a walk-in robe quite that fancy if you're only here on holidays, but if you're living here permanently, it's pretty great. So back down through the living and kitchen, you come to the second bedroom. So we might just head in there. This bedroom is smaller than the main bedroom, and it doesn't have a wardrobe at this stage either. There would be room to put a wardrobe in if you wanted to. There used to be a wardrobe in here. This owner just didn't want it. Now this one does have doors out into the outdoor entertaining area. The current owner of this property used this end of the house as a little bit of a separate guest room. So the main bathroom is off this, and because the doors go outside, you do have that potential for, depending on how you're using the house, this end to be quite fancy with its own bedroom, doors outside and bathroom, which in some respects is quite a lot nicer than the main room, which although larger has the ensuite but not the fancy bathroom. So I'll show you what I mean by that. If we come back through here, this is just off the main bathroom, which is very opulent. So if you had, depending on what you want to do with this home, if this was maybe even letting it out for Airbnb, or if you wanted to live in this end of the house and use this as your bathroom, with that as your bedroom and have access to the outside deck, you might prefer to use this, and just when guests come and stay, they can have the master with the ensuite and still have space to themselves. It kind of depends on how you want to use the place, but this is the room that the owner used for the main bathroom, and as you can see, she spent quite a lot of time and effort styling it up. These are all really recent fittings. They're pretty fancy. The vanity is lovely too with the timber bench top. So this is still the main bathroom for the upstairs, regardless of which way you decide to set up your living. This is the main bathroom, but as I said, it could be, it could make its own little suite with that second bedroom. So you've got 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms up here, and however you like to use them is up to you, I suppose. And then this lovely open plan kitchen, living, dining. That wraps up the upstairs, which is the main house. Just coming back past the stairs to downstairs, which I'll take you down in a minute. We've got some more storage. This is just storage here. But behind the curtains here is the laundry. So this is your laundry trough and where you would put your washing machine. I'm just going to take you quickly, before we go downstairs, I'll take you outside quickly. You did get a glimpse of outside from the doors in the other room. I'll just get you to come through, Karl, and I'll close that door. But this is the backyard. And as you can see, it's got a really fantastic rendered blockwork wall, which makes it really sheltered for kind of afternoon sea breezes and things. So once it gets a bit cool on that front deck, you can come out here. It's got a covered, about half of it, or maybe a third, is covered with this roof. So you can be out here in all weathers. If the wind picks up or it's a bit rainy, you can be sitting out here. It's much more sheltered. Perfect spot for a barbecue, but again, a really great entertaining. And so this comes off the kind of living area down the hallway, but also off bedroom number 2 through the doors where you were just looking before. This is the backyard. So the back boundary of the property is this fence, but you do have access to this backyard via a walkway at the side, which is where Karl's just looking now. You might actually come over, Karl, and have a quick look at that. So as you're looking down the side here, the property pretty much finishes on the boundary of this pathway, but it is a really good, nice concreted path all the way up to get your backyard access up here. So we'll probably head back in through that official back door. It's concrete on the floor here as well. Just checking out the view at the back. And concrete, this is all concreted on the floor, if you want to call it the floor, on the ground at the back. So it's pretty low maintenance, this area. Just sit out here and enjoy. Which, if you wanted to have this as a holiday home, would be pretty handy. I'll let you go in, Karl. But I guess if you're moving here to live, it's nice and low maintenance also. So we might now head downstairs and I'll show you the separate unit. The really good thing about this is that this house has its own entire separate entrance. So you don't have to go through each other to... So depending on what you might like to do with this place, there's a few options. But if this door is closed, when this door is closed, and it can be locked, then this is the front door to the main house. You come in here and straight upstairs, and the unit here is completely separate and can be locked and accessed by its own door, which is just over here. So ordinarily you would be coming into the unit via this sliding door. And you can see there's plenty of space out here for sitting and enjoying. It's again a covered, so this is underneath the upstairs deck, but it is covered. So if you're sitting down here on a rainy day, you are covered. It's a great spot to sit. There's another little outdoor entertaining here. But you've also got a good amount of off-street parking here. So, well, at least certainly enough for one car, and really I would suggest probably 2. So if you decided that you wanted to rent this downstairs out, either as a long-term rental or Airbnb, they would both be potential options, subject to council approving that. then whoever the tenant or guests may be here, they would have plenty of off-street parking and a really nice outdoor sitting area. That's quite separate to either of those outdoor sitting areas that I showed you for the upstairs house. So that's pretty great because you live quite separately. So as I said, this would be the entrance for coming into the unit, and I'll show you around here. This is smaller than upstairs, as you would expect a unit to be, but it's still really beautifully done. Very similar to upstairs, you've got a nice clean white kitchen, and from the kitchen sink here you can still see the water. Similar to upstairs, it's not quite as open, but it's still a pretty impressive view of the water, and you can still see the mountain in the distance. You've got, Carl might just get the mountain for us. You've still got those nice timber floors through this bit of the kitchen as well. As you can also see, there is room here in the middle for a dining table. You could maybe arrange the furniture slightly differently, but that's a reasonably substantial dining table and there is room for it. This is the section that you would have your couches and things. Again, you might decide to arrange things slightly differently, but there's plenty of space here. The heating down here is this electric heater on the wall over here. So that's what would be used for heating here. So this is the open plan kitchen, living, dining for the downstairs unit. And then through here is the bedroom. This bedroom is similar in size to the main bedroom upstairs, so it's a pretty good sized bedroom for this apartment. And then it also has a very similar sized ensuite and walk-in robe. So it's not quite as big, but it's pretty close. So you've got a pretty usable vanity, toilet and corner shower there. And then the walk-in robe there is really good size storage too. So if you were going to rent this out, which as I said could be an option subject to council, this would be a pretty substantial little apartment for somebody. It also might really suit you if you wanted to have family down here. So if you have a combined family where you might have in-laws or older children or something like that, it could work really well too. So, but the potential for some income one way or the other is also there, subject to getting council approvals. We do have a little storage, or it's not little actually, it's pretty substantial storage cupboard in here. It's quite full at the minute, so you can't see very much, but there's a lot of storage in there, and there is plumbing in there, so you can also have your downstairs laundry in there, which is an advantage. So that wraps up the unit, but I will just show you back across the hall. So we'll imagine that's the end of the unit here, and we're back into the main house. So as you've come in the front door from the main house, just across the hall here is the garage for the main house. So again, the garage has its own parking. The main house has its own parking. This is officially a double garage, but you do have to do a little bit of creative parking to get 2 cars in. Again, we've got a lot of stuff stored here at the minute, but if you drive the first car in and to the side here, you can get the second car beside, but there is only a single garage door. So just keep that in mind. You need to be a good driver. And just the only other thing that's probably relevant, Carl, is that there is in the garage, I can't open it, but trust me, that is another storage cupboard under there. It's just an opening cupboard size, it's nothing grand, but it is another storage cupboard under the stairs. So this is good undercover access if you're driving in here. As the homeowner, you are literally coming through here and straight up the stairs to the house. So that's about it. Upstairs and downstairs. Multiple options for what you might like to do. Probably doesn't matter which option you go with, that's going to be your view, which is pretty impressive. I'm sure whether you want to live here permanently or have it as a holiday home, whether you need some extra income or whether you've just got a large family, there's a lot of options. So this is 18 Fritton Drive. I'm Melanie from Harcourts, Huon Valley. Thanks for watching.